I want to know what the hell she was thinking. I do. I want to know what the hell she was thinking. She's looking at this so wrong. So, anyways, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Kristina, where we talk about series books. I read series books and I talk about series books. I like to read about the character progression from book to book to book. We're doing Star Trek Next Generation, Almost Human on Friday, season 4. We're progressing through that weekly. We're doing Flashback Mondays. There's a daily book review every day. No special effects, no theme music. I am nothing fancy. I'm just really simple. I just read books and talk about books. So today we are talking about Alyssa Maxwell, Murder at Marble House. Now, Emma has met a guy, and he's a very wealthy guy. And she's got preconceived notions about what wealthy people do because she's related to the Vanderbilts, but she's on the poorer side of the Vanderbilts. And she's got these preconceived notions in her head, and I'm looking at it like I'm pretty sure the guy doesn't see it all that way. But she's got this stuff in her head, and she doesn't care if she's breaking her own heart. She just doesn't care. She's so fixed here that she doesn't care about here. She's going to suffer and wallow in it because of here. Now, this really rich guy who owns a newspaper, who could probably get her a job working at their newspaper and could probably negotiate her terms of her doing a social column, but maybe even hard news, because that's what she really wants to do is hard news. And her current boss is like, well, you're a female. And this guy owns a newspaper. He could do that for her. He could work on that. He would probably, knowing that she is unable to stop herself from investigating stuff, he would probably assist with this stuff. And he's doing it now. It's all in her head, and it's driving me bonkers. Either way, I made my choice. I would not be the wife of a wealthy, influential man and have my life mapped out in a series of festivities that would accomplish nothing of substance in this world. Yes, Vanderbilt blood ran through my veins, but I wanted no part of the Gilded prison in which my Aunt Alice and all the other society matrons resided. But she doesn't know that. She doesn't know that. He's a newspaper guy. They're different. His brand to the world earned their living, built their future. He might have a different feeling, and he's helping with the investigation, and he knows and understands that she can't help herself, that she has to do this stuff. And she still doesn't get it. So, she gets an urgent phone call from her cousin Consuelo. Please come, hurry up. Life threat, dangerous situation. She runs over there, and apparently her mother has arranged a marriage with the Duke of Marlborough. She wants her daughter to marry a duke so that she can say, my daughter the Duchess. And the kid wants no part of it. No part of it at all. And her mother invites a Madame DeVoe, to the house. And the first thing the madam says is, don't do it. You'll regret it for the rest of your life. And then Alva makes a statement to the fact that's the aunt. The girl's aunt, the girl's mom. Emma's aunt, but the girl's aunt. That she has to do this, and she's going to do it whether she wants to do it or not. And the statement was, she was also angry at the madam for coming in and saying that stuff. Oh. Excuse me. So I did like the last one. I tried to keep track of the characters, and it was just there's over 40 characters in the book. I think she's overdoing it with the characters. It's hard to follow, but at least this one, I because of the I kept track of the first one. I'm getting um, a handle on some of the recurring ones, like recurring characters. But so the Who Done It in this one just threw me for a loop. It just came out of left field. It was a good twist though. So anyways, so they're at this big luncheon thingy, party thingy, and like I said, the mother invited the madam, and the madam walks in and goes, don't marry him, you'll be unhappy forever. And so then they go out and set up in the gazebo, and the madam's going to give readings, and 10 minutes later, she's dead. And she was strangled with her own scarf. And they apparently the maid, who is the housemaid, who was substituting for her maid because she didn't have one, did the murder. Supposedly, she's framed. So Clara Parker is framed for the murder, and so Detective Jesse White's called to the scene, our favorite detective, and Alva, the aunt, the mom, Emma's aunt, and the mother of Consuelo's, points the finger at her maid and vehemently says that she did it. So, and a lady's scarf was the murder weapon. And Jesse asked Emma to question Consuelo about the murder because her mother won't let him question her. And she's been sequestered in her bedroom. Unknowns to everybody else, Consuelo has left the premises. So, so then Alva makes Emma search for Consuelo's, but not to tell anybody. Her daughter is missing, but she doesn't want to tell anybody that she's missing. God forbid there's, social. Oh my God, her daughter's missing. And she doesn't want people searching for her daughter. She doesn't want people to know. It'll ruin her social standing. It'll ruin the Duke situation. Like, what the F? What are you thinking? This is your kid, aren't you? So then one of the police officers that works, this is like a little subplot here, who also happens to be dating the maid that was framed for the murder, is arrested for he's extorting people. He finds out that there are some people doing some smuggling and stuff in town, and he wants a little handout, not to say nothing. So then Emma gets this idea that there's this little island offshore, that's where Consuelos is hiding. And she goes to go there, and Derek shows up. And he's like, I know you couldn't resist searching, so I'm going with you. They go across the lake, and they discover a smuggling ring, and they almost get killed for their efforts. And then the newspaper reporter refuses to print, the owner of the newspaper, refuses to print her story. And again, I'm like, Derek owns a newspaper. He could print any story you want. Bring it up, negotiate, open the subject, but she doesn't. She likes to suffer. I hate that. She's got to wallow in her own self-pity when the answers are right in front of her face and she just doesn't see it because she's all up here. I'm sure it may take some negotiation, but she could end up with a column or two in her husband's newspaper, and she could be investigating stuff because he should know before they even get married, if they were ever to get married, because we're not even to that place yet, that would be a condition. That would be a written condition of the marriage, that he would allow her a column in the newspaper, and he would allow her to investigate. If he wasn't going to allow all this, then she won't marry him. And so they find out about the relationship. Are you going to be my new co-host? Are you going to be my new cute co-host? This co-host does not like to appear on TV. So she negotiates with her publisher that he would give her a front page story. And he's like, well, can we do it by your initials? And she's like, no, she wants her full name. And he's like, he agrees at first. So he makes this agreement with her. Then she finally relents about his says, all right, I'll let you have a story. But he tricks her at the end, and we'll discuss that later. So then they Emma and Derek contrive a plan, and they send letters to parties going, meet me here, I need to see you. And they get the two parties to meet, thinking that the other party sent the meeting note. And they're like, if you didn't call me and I didn't call you, then who wrote the notes? And then Emma and Derek come out and go, they question him about Consuelos, how she's missing. They say they're really not interested in what they're doing on the sideline, but we want you to know that your guys tried to kill us, blah, blah, blah. So they do all that. And they confess completely to Emma and Derek. Then it reveals that Hope, that the Madame Devereaux knew the stuff that was going on with this other lady, Hope Stanford. And also tells her that this madam knew that Amelia Beaumont is dirt broke. So these are other ladies that were at this little shindig the other day. So they're all up in arms. These ladies have all got motives now. And Uncle Cornelius gives Brady his job back. If you remember, Brady was fired because he was suspected of murder in the first book. And I do have to say, and I forgot to say this earlier, that this book starts the next day after the last one. So there's a lot of twists and turns in this, and the whodunit comes out of left field. You never saw it coming. It was a really unsuspecting person. And Consuelos ends up, it's based on a real stuff. I didn't know that it's based on real stuff, but the author comes out and says some stuff at the end. But there's this other thing that happens at the end, and this is a big spoiler. Her parents sell her childhood home, and Derek buys the childhood home. And he's thinking, I'm buying this for her so she can have it forever, and we can be married and raise our children in this house. Her brother is still living there, and he says the brother can remain there. And she freaks out 6 ways to Sunday. She revolts. She revolts all over the place. She's so furiously angry at Derek for doing this to her. She freaks out. And she decides she's going to save up and buy the house back from him. He's looking at it like, I did this for you. I want you to marry me. I want us to raise our family in your family home. No, she sees it as a betrayal. Absolute outright betrayal. I intend to buy it back, I announced, surprising myself and judging him by his expression. When he started to speak, I cut him off. No, I don't have the money yet, but in time I will. Somehow, I'll work harder, write more articles. Promise me, Derek, promise me that when I have the money, you'll sell me my house back. He wants her to marry him. No, it wasn't, not entirely. I couldn't have said exactly what it was. Mere emotional exhaustion, perhaps. Yet by the time I reached the other end of 3rd Street, the breeze dried my tears to sticky tracks against my cheeks, and in spite of everything, a little smile forced its way to my lips. I might have lost my house to a sneaky rogue who believed he could manipulate me. But I hadn't lost him. I hadn't lost Derek. However much I kept telling myself I needed to set him free. No, he would be there, an on and off Newport reporter, and I put my mind further thoughts of what that would mean. I simply refused to consider it. So, hey, check it out. Murder at Marble House. And please hit the like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job. I really appreciate it. There's no special effects here. There's no absolute editing. So, and I'm sorry my cat upchucked in the middle of this video. But anyways, please hit the like and subscribe. Please let me know I'm doing a good job. Really appreciate it. Thank you.